Hi, hello everyone. My name is Riana Arendse, and for those that do not know what I do and who I am, I'm a master healer, a spiritual teacher, way shower, and channel for the divine. I'm also the author of the book You Are the Creator. Um, and today, what I'm going to be focusing on or speaking about is the 5 reasons or the 5 points as to why most people get stuck on the spiritual awakening journey. And then how can one then navigate that and transcend those 5 aspects so that one can fully embody your true essence and your higher self, so to speak. I thought I'd focus on a topic each week, depending on what you guys would like to learn about or to experience. I'll be doing live channelings and healings and recordings as well, and readings, sorry. And so comment below or let us know in the chat box as to what you'd like to hear more about. Okay, for those that are connecting via YouTube, please subscribe and like this video if you'd like to see more, and so that you can get notifications of when my next videos are launched. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, when you're on the spiritual journey, all right, so one goes through an awakening, as you are aware of, and for most of us, the spiritual awakening itself how can I say, are more so expanded experiences. So it doesn't necessarily, or for most of us, it doesn't usually happen all in one go, like one moment where you are fully rid of everything you thought you were and you stepped fully in and embodied your higher self or God self. So for most of us, including myself, it was a process. And it's a process of slowly shedding the layers or the skins of who you thought you had to be, all the conditioned and limiting ways of limiting beliefs, all the subconscious beliefs, all the traumas and blocks, and your pain body, all those old stories of the self. It slowly starts shedding over time as we work through that in order to then become a clear vessel for the divine to work through, and so that your higher self can come down and fully embody you here in the 3D reality, or let's say the 4D reality for now. So what are the 5 points? Number 1, and I'm speaking of experience because these 5 points I have come to know that these are the most important points where people usually get stuck. And the reasons why people get stuck at these 5 points is because once you get past these 5 points, then you are able to then fully become an enlightened being, or rather I would rather say embody who you truly are, aligned with the higher self, for your expanded self to come in and embody every essence of you here in this reality. And the PainBody is the first one. Number 1, the PainBody. So let's talk about what the PainBody is. So the emotional PainBody basically lives inside of you. It's like an energetic or emotional aspect of you that lives inside of your energetic essence. It is an accumulation of painful life experiences that was not fully faced and accepted at the moment that it arose within your life. So, for example, throughout your childhood, your adolescence, even throughout your adulthood, you experienced many situations with your parents, with your peers, in life in general, that you didn't fully process. And so that left behind some form of residue or form of an emotional pain within your field. And so after some years, this pain body consistently gets added on by more pain and more pain on top of those old emotion. And when the pain body usually remains dormant for most of the time, but when it becomes active, then this means, for most of us, we are triggered by in our relationships, we are triggered by people at work, we are triggered by what someone else said or did. And the moment you get triggered and you feel this triggering of yourself, or triggering of your egoic mind, then you must know that the pain body has become active. And so for most people, they can't seem to get past the healing of the pain body. And so what I'm really speaking about here is, for those that are on the spiritual awakening journey, their goal is usually to move into the higher self. You want to live your purpose. You want to be who you truly are. And what happens is, now, one moment you are in a state of bliss and you know all these beautiful new insights about the world, about yourself, about spirituality. And the next morning you wake up being triggered by your partner or your parent or your friend or your boss. And then suddenly this just takes you completely out of that moment of bliss that you had the previous night. So the most difficult aspect of this is that when you haven't healed the pain body, it can become an ongoing cycle of going back and forth from the higher self to the small self, higher self to the small self, and this can become very frustrating. And so what you need to do in order to heal the pain body is to actually heal the pain body. You need to make a commitment to healing these triggers. Everything that arises through the murder of others must be acknowledged, must become aware of it, and it must be healed and integrated back into wholeness. And so in my book, You Are the Creator, I speak about a lot of the processes of awareness. And awareness itself is enough to shift a lot of the blocks and traumas that we have. Okay, and feel free to grab a copy of the book if you want to dive more into how to start healing the pain body. But as we go through the next weeks and months, I'm going to do some of these modalities live so that you can experience that. And if you wish to work more closely with me, you can just obviously let me know. Go to my website, rianaarense.com, and we can take it from there. Let's move on to number 2. The second reason why we get stuck on the spiritual awakening journey is our subconscious blueprint. So 95% of what you create in your life, what you see in your reality, your job, your relationships, the people you meet, your circumstances, is created on autopilot by what you believe within the subconscious mind. And once you become awakened and you have all this insight, you start to learn that you can consciously create your reality. You can start to manifest that which you desire. But most people find it so difficult to manifest what they want because their subconscious mind still has an underlying belief that's still running in the background. And a lot of people don't know what these beliefs are because it's been ingrained in their mind since a very, very, very young age. Usually between the ages of 0 and 7 years old. This is where our blueprints of beliefs were created. And one needs to start really becoming aware and looking at what we truly believe behind what we want to believe. And so you can always, as I've mentioned with the pain body, you can always start with the process of awareness. For example, we know that our intimate partners and our parents and our children are mirrors to us. ask yourself, what is my partner mirroring to me? Why are they triggering me like this? What emotion comes up when they trigger me? What is he mirroring to me? Instead of my partner for something, ask yourself, how did I create this? What is this mirror trying to show me about myself? And then start to work on healing that underlying belief that you have about yourself, about people, about the world, about God. All right. And as I've mentioned, we can dive more into that as we go along over the next few weeks and months, or if you want to work closely with me to completely shift those beliefs once and for all, we can. Okay. Number 3, non-clamation of the true self. I don't even know if that's a word, but I just said it's when you claim something, the opposite would be to not claim it. So non-clamation. Okay, so number 3, non-clamation of the true self. What does this mean? This means that when you awaken spiritually and you realize and you've come to the knowing, the inner knowing of who you truly are, you know that you're a divine being. You know that you are the creator. You know that you're an extension of God, source. You know that you are a powerful being that has created all of this for yourself. Now you have that knowing, but how do you claim it? Jesus, back in the time when Jesus lived on the earth, he came in and he claimed himself as being the one, as being an extension of God. A lot of people mocked him. A lot of people worshipped him and followed him because he stood in confidence of who he was, even though he didn't have all the answers at the time throughout his journey. You get to a point within the spiritual awakening journey where you're going to have to claim. I had one of my clients or friends, I would say, he also is on a spiritual awakening journey, and he once mentioned to me that he could not see himself as equal to Jesus because of what Jesus did and who Jesus is. And what came through for him in the channeling that I did for him was that he needs to claim himself as the one, as Jesus did. And so it's not that to make yourself better than the other, but when you claim yourself as being the one, you give other people permission to claim themselves as also being the one, because who I am, you are too. We are all one at the end of the day. We are all made up of the same energy that is created the universe. We are all made up of the same energy. We are each other. I am you, you are me, we are, I am. And so claiming who you are can be a very difficult point along the spiritual awakening journey because you do not feel confident in your gifts and abilities, in what you know. You don't know how to expand on being who you truly are. And so you come from a place of feeling small. Now, I'm going to speak, this ties in with point number 4. Point number 4, people get stuck on the spiritual awakening journey because they're unable to activate their dormant gifts or expand on their gifts. They don't know what their abilities are. They don't know what their purpose is, what their mission is in this life. And so because you don't know those things, you don't feel confident enough to do what you do naturally. You don't feel confident enough in putting yourself out into the world and getting paid for just being you. And one way I will teach you today is how to access and download your spiritual gifts and abilities by accessing your soul star chakra. Your soul, we all know we've got 7 main centers, chakra centers. So we've also got the soul star chakra, which is just a few inches above the crown. In meditation, just visualize that this beautiful, colorful energy center a few inches above your head. Visualize it in your mind's eye, and then visualize you accessing this energy or embodying this energy fully. Connect with your guides, with your angels, with your ascended masters, with your higher self, with God, with Source. and ask that your spiritual gifts from previous lives be downloaded into your being in this reality. This is the center where you can access your past lives, the Akashic. You can communicate with star beings, with your guides, your angels, etc. So during meditation, make a note of a point of purposefully downloading or asking for those gifts and abilities to be remembered and to be downloaded. Because I promise you, you've had many lifetimes where you were healers, teachers, priestesses. You know, you did this work before, so it's a matter of remembering. It's a matter of getting that activated again. And once you do that, you'll build your confidence enough to spread your wings and start to becoming your purpose, starting to serve humanity with your natural gifts and talents, and start actually getting paid for just being you. And this will allow that your confidence builds. And tying into number 3, non-clamation of your true self, it will allow you to then claim who you are as the creator and the divine being. Okay, number 5, not taking responsibility for your creations. A lot of people on the spiritual awakening journey get stuck because they still see themselves as victims or perpetrators. They still are in a victim mentality. And yes, it is a process. I myself, if you read my book, you will learn that I've had an extremely dark past. And I was the victim of many abusive encounters. And through my healing journey, I needed to take my power back and realize, even though I was a child and even though I was young, I came into this reality in order for me to experience those things so that I can expand in and remember and experience myself as the divine, as an extension of God. So I cannot know freedom and love if I don't know the opposite of those. And so I needed to take responsibility that I was a vibrational match to those things happening in my life, to all of the so-called negative aspects of my journey growing up. I needed to take responsibility for the creations in my life. I attracted this relationship, I attracted that relationship, I attracted me losing my job, I attracted my rapist. That's not to say that you should come down on yourself, but rather see the bigger picture. Take an objective observer view of the bigger picture and see from the aspect of your higher self what you would have liked yourself to experience and to learn, and move out of the victim mentality mindset into the mindset of you being the creator, and you purposefully putting those things within your life and your timeline in order for you to expand. And now looking back on my life, I'm so grateful for the things that I've experienced. As much as it has been painful and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, I would not be sitting here today doing what I love and teaching and healing if I did not experience those things. And so, as I've said, point number 5, take responsibility for your creations. Once you do that, you are in a place of power, you're in a place of peace, you're in a place of bliss, you're in a place of unconditional love for yourself and for others. I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates with you. Comment below or let me know what you guys think, if it resonates and what you'd like to know more about. I'm so excited to share this journey with all of you and to be on your journey with you and to see the growth manifest within your lives. I'm here with you. And so before I go, I'm going to just channel and see what the divine would like to say. Dear beloveds, we are here. And we say to you today, remember who you are. Remember who stands in your shoes. Remember who peers through your eyes. Remember who you are. This is not your first rodeo. You've done this many times before, and now is your time to graduate. Many of you have come from other star systems, angelic realms, within the universes of universes. Many of you have worked with sacred geometry before. Many of you have come here onto earth at this time to serve humanity in the awakening of the collective. Make a commitment today to focus on your mission, on your purpose. We love you. And so the Seraphim Angels would like to step in now and just do a healing activation. Just open yourselves out now. Imagine yourselves expanding your aura as big as the entire universe and just receive. Butterflies. Be blessed, beloveds. We love you.